Hi, good morning. I am out here on a Saturday morning doing my yoga, and my husband's at the farmer's market with his chai love business, and so this is my one day of the week. I get a few hours to myself. So I decided to come out and do my meditation out here, and I'll show you my garden another time. But I just want to share with you this process I'm having, and I'm curious, I'm sure a lot of y'all have been through this too. And if you have suggestions on what to do, I would love to hear how you co-regulate. So I'm on my third day of, my sister and I were in my office for a couple of days working and getting things cleaned up, organized, and I was inside, well, first off, my sister's dog went to my security gate of my office, and I hear someone yelling, and so that rattled me because I don't do well. Like, I'm very sensitive, so I'm very sensitive to energies, sensitive to words, sensitive to just people. So got through that, went inside, started doing my painting, had my 90s pop rock on, and then this person comes in and starts blasting me. And after like a minute, I'm like, wait, what's going on? I'm really uncomfortable with this. This isn't like how I want to start my day. Like, can we just like talk about this? And they just proceeded to like blast me. And I was shaking. I was standing up the best I can for myself without being completely unhinged. And I was holding the paintbrush and I was literally shaking. And I finally realized this person was not going to de-escalate. And no matter what I was doing or saying, they were right and I was wrong. And I eventually was just like, I'm sorry, like not sincerely, but just like to get them to go away. And I was shaken. And this is what I'm realizing through my years of therapy and learning is that, well, one, I knew I wasn't wrong in this situation at all. Like, I didn't do anything wrong, because usually in the past, I had a couple wins in this. I was in the middle of like, I was not wrong. And in the past, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What can I do to make it better? And like fawning and trying to like just placate the person. In this situation, I was like, I didn't say I'm not wrong, but I was just like, we didn't talk about this. There was no discussion ahead of time. There were no agreements made. And so I was standing up for myself the best I could. But I'm watching myself. I'm like, okay, like, I'm glad that I'm not taking responsibility for anything I've done wrong or feeling like I have, being gaslit. If you don't know what that is, you can look that up. But then I proceeded to disassociate. I'm on my day 3 now of like, I'm still like shaking. And I've been reflecting a lot on this. And, you know, most of my life, people are like, oh, you're so sensitive, like it's a put down, or it's like shaming me. Like I'm supposed to like toughen up and pull up my bootstraps. And I'm just not. I finally learned like I'm just sensitive, and it's one of my superpowers. Like, you know, in high school I got most fun to be with, and kindest or nicest or something like that. And it's part of who I am. Like, I see people, I see situations. I've been through a lot of crummy situations, so I'm really sensitive to watching others. It makes me good at my work. That sensitivity helps me be able to read people's energies. And it's not a shaming thing. It's not a put down. And I want to encourage you, like, I don't think we have enough sensitivity in our world, because I realized during this interaction, I'm like, this is how people can get angry at each other, because they're already amped up. Their nervous systems are already on high alert, because when I was on high alert from getting yelled at first, so it was easier for me to like be able to respond, but I was already in a fight or flight mode. And I don't live like that. I try to live in a very calm place. And with that, it's harder for me to get amped up. And so I realized that with our nervous systems, if we're already staying in a place of fight or flight, it's easy to get angry at another person. It's easy to blame and be fearful and be not a nice person. And so for the sake of this video not getting too long, I'm going to try to wrap up. But I really want to encourage you. One, like, I always tell my kids this too. If you have something to say, you can say what you need to say. Just say it nicely. You don't need to yell at people. You don't need to be confrontational. You can say things like, that person could have been like, hey, you know, this didn't sit well with me. Like, is there something, like, what can we do in partnership to make this a better situation? I'm a pretty accommodating person, and I will work my hardest. I'm a people pleaser, but not to the extent of my own integrity or health or safety. So I think most people are like that. Apparently there's not everybody like that. There's quite a few people who don't want to be like that. But I feel like if you want to be in a good relationship, like just try being curious about if there's something that didn't go well for you or the way you didn't want it. Just, I would, recommend like just practicing like, hey, just curious about this and like, what can we do to make it better? And I hope that we can be kind to each other. There is so much going on, as you know. Like, I don't feel like the people around us need to be hateful or mean or blast people. Like most of us, like I'm a really reasonable person. I think most people are. I mean, I know there's people out there who aren't, but I feel like if we can get to a place of kindness and curiosity, like and again, like we all want to save the world, but start in your own backyard. I'm in my backyard, but yeah. And then also there's that. And also, if you're one of those sensitive people, let me know, just so I know I'm not alone. And I know I'm not alone, but I just want to encourage you, like, nurture that sensitivity. Like, that's what I've done over many, many years. Once I got really tuned into that's what makes my work better. But at the same time, I'm 3 days later still processing this because of my sensitivity and what I feel. So I'm working on that today, doing my yoga, doing my meditations. I'm moving. I'm sleeping. As much as I couldn't eat for that whole day. I felt so sick to my stomach. So let me know what you do. I know there's lots of things to regulate. I probably need to get adjusted and I'll be getting cranial work hopefully this week. So yeah, let me know what you do when you need to co-regulate. And just thanks for being here. Thanks for being on the planet. If you've watched this far, it means you care about whatever this message is and that you may want to share your sensitivity with us, or just know that I'm with you on this one too, and more on that too, because I've got lots to say. Okay, bye.